Hey guys, Alex here with another video. I'm doing something that I haven't done in a while. It's a video game review with Mass Effect 3. This is the collector's edition I got not too long ago. I actually beat the game in about 2 days, 3 days, give or take. And I'm going to cover basically the good parts of the game and then the not so great parts that I'll talk about at the end. Alright, first of all, let me say this, that with every Mass Effect game that has come out, Mass Effect 1, 2, and now 3, the story is phenomenal. Mass Effect is probably one of the best storytelling games out there. Probably one of the best storytelling franchises alive. The story is very well done. The dialogue choices are great. The pacing of the story is great, and I love the feeling you get across that there is a looming threat. The Reapers are now attacking, and you feel the pressure of getting all these allies, the different races of the universe, to unite and fight the Reapers. And it's very well done the way the structure of the game is with like war assets. You get like a war room in the New Normandy, which is pretty cool and actually lets you like view who you have accomplished and gotten to join your quest. It's pretty cool and adds a little bit of a nice turn-based strategy game to it a little bit. But all in all, you don't really feel that it make a difference. It's just kind of a number. So a little bit of an iffy thing there. The combat is great. The combat is actually more improved than I think it was the second one. It just feels a lot more fast-paced, a lot more fluent, and more easy to control. You feel faster. You feel more badass with the new melee system with the Omni Tool blade you can use. Really cool. All the combat seems great. The fights are not too overwhelming, but with a good amount of difficulty. Probably only died like 3 or 4 times in the entire game. And I was playing on normal mode, so that's not bad. But like the end fight scene where you're like right before you get to the main part of the story or whatever, like on Earth, there's one fight scene that's really really good. We're basically fighting like 6 brutes, and then like the Reaper infected Asari show up, and like they're a pain in the ass to kill. So it was a like really overwhelming fight, and I felt just oh my god, how am I gonna get out of this? So very well done, very fun, and very challenging game at the same time. The characters are, again, great. A few of the new ones aren't so great, personally. I personally didn't like, Vegas was kind of a flat, boring character. The DLC character, Jarvik, was alright, but, all in all, not the greatest character ever written. I think that, they've done better. But, it was alright. Edie was kind of interesting for a little while. But mainly the characters that you've been a company to, Liara, Garrus, Tali, even Ashley Williams at once in a while, are more interesting characters to talk to, and actually a lot of fun to see how their stories with your character develop, and that's pretty cool. A lot of characters from the old games make appearances. Actually, just about every single character you meet in the game is in it, and some of them I get very, very amazing story progressions. Morden gets a really good story. Rex, Legion, Grunt gets a nice little portion. Miranda gets a nice Thane. So you get some nice portions where you get to revisit some old characters. Unfortunately, the roster is kind of shallow. I'll get to that in a second. They are missed in the game. Other positives. Oh, the Kinect's pretty cool. You can actually, it makes combat a little bit easier, but if you're like using it for the dialogue, it's kind of goofy and kind of useless. I think it's easier to just use a controller. That's it. Multiplayer. Multiplayer is pretty good. It's nothing special. It's basic, multiplayer where it's horde mode, and it's really a simple version that they can import into the game. Hopefully, they'll make some DLC where you get actual missions where you can use some combat and actually feels like it's part of a storyline. Where you could be doing fighting on Earth, another sort of battle while Shepard is away. You could be fighting on the Turian homeworld, the Asari homeworld, the Solarian homeworld, be part of the galaxy, and actually feel like you're completing a mission, not just surviving a horde mode. So that would be nice, but I understand that it's the first venture into multiplayer. They kind of want to test the waters, I guess, but you'd expect more from BioWare, especially since it feels unrelated story-wise, just basically there to have fun with and keep the player playing it longer. Other good things. Like I said, the game's great. There are some really tragic, sad moments in this game that you actually are well connected to. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to try to keep this spoiler-free as possible. But you will be on the verge of tears many times during this game. And that's a very good thing that BioWare is able to make characters that are so emotionally attached to you that you feel the loss of each character when they when he or she may or may not die. Luckily, it's kind of easy to avoid if you choose a Paragon role or whatever, or you've done pretty well in the game. But still, there are some that are unavoidable, and those are very, very touching moments. Now onto the kind of the bad parts. First of all, some people said the RPG elements of the game feel stripped away, that the customization's not up to what you expect. I could see that, but I feel that they kind of did a limited loot system, and they kind of felt cheap and not really anything complex or. But I feel that that's kind of good because in the first one they had multiple variations of armor, multiple variations of weapon upgrades and stuff, and it was kind of overwhelming because to go through and look through every single one to find out which one's the best. And I kind of like it that they streamlined it while keeping customization optional. But some true fans of the first one might not like it. I feel that it's not that bad, but to each his own. Like I said, it's a very shallow roster. At your max with a DLC character, you will only get about 7, I think. You get Vegas, Garrus, Tali, Liara, Javik, Edie, and Ashley. So yeah, you get 7. And it's really shallow from the first game, or the second game at least. In the second game, I think had a lot better characters, and you actually don't get to team up with any of the new ones from the second game. You don't get to team up with Jack, you don't get to team up with Miranda or Jacob or Thane or Grunt. You don't get any Krogans in your team. That's very disappointing because I think the Krogans were some of the best allies to have in the game. And I feel that the new characters introduced were kind of boring and uninteresting. I basically just stuck with Garrus and Liara throughout the entire game as my teammates because they're the best combo, I felt. But I kind of was hoping that for a deeper roster, especially since so many of the interesting characters from the second game don't come over into this game to be your teammates, which is kind of disappointing since they were so interesting and I was so emotionally attached to them for doing their loyalty missions and everything. So kind of disappointed by that. But moving on. And there's also the ending, which a lot of people have been bitching about. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to spoil it. I want to keep it spoiler free. But obviously, it is very cheap, and it doesn't feel like it is a fitting end to the Mass Effect universe. They basically are kind of hinting that they're going to wait for DLC to do the true ending, I guess. And I don't like that. I don't like having to pay extra for the real ending of a game. I think it's a good idea if you want to add extra missions here that you can add or whatever. But still, you don't throw an ending into the DLC. That's bullshit. That's like waiting for a DVD for the real ending of a movie or something. All in all, the game is fun, though. The ending is a little disappointing, and I think it kind of hurts the end result of the game, but I don't think it completely ruins the franchise like some people are saying. I still think that 2 is probably the best game in the series. I probably think that's probably one of the best games you can ever play. But this game is fun. It's not going to be the best game of the year like I originally thought while playing it, but it is definitely going to be a top contender for game of the year. Maybe not the best, but it's going to be a top contender. All in all, I'll give this game a solid 8.5. It is fun. It's emotionally investing. The story is great. The characters are fun. What ones there are, and there's a few uninteresting ones, but all in all, you don't really care. You get your few attachment characters. And I feel that it is a very, very fun game with a good multiplayer to keep us interested for a while until they finally get around to doing real multiplayer with a co-op story-based multiplayer instead of this horde mode. But like I said, Mass Effect 3 is great. It's a good end to the series. Hopefully they'll add some DLC to it and fix the ending, but I'm not holding my breath. But like I said, if you want to go out and try Mass Effect, go out and buy the second one. The second one's great. The third one's fun, but I think that it might lose some appeal. But, to each his own. Again. Alright, that's it for now. Take care. Bye.